Fratricide is an act of killing a brother or brothers by another brother. It can either be done directly or by hiring an intermediary. The word fratricide is a combination of Latin words, where frater means brother, and cida means killer. The practice of fratricide has been seen in many empires in history. Certainly, fratricide is one of the most controversial matters in Ottoman history. Usually, it has been occurred for three different reasons. In the first case, it happened as a result of a rebellion against the Sultan, which is seen as totally justifiable based on Islamic law. In the second case, when there are signs of a potential revolt, but not a clear revolt as yet, ulamas have some disagreement for the execution of those among in this category. In the third case, there is neither an actual revolt, nor the preparation for it. However, members of the dynasty were executed to prevent the possibility of provoking a potential rebellion. The execution in that way was a precautionary step, rather than a punishment. Many historians believe that fratricide was one of the main facts that kept the Ottoman Empire alive for centuries. In this video, you will get to know that, why did the Ottoman sultans kill their sons and brothers? And who started the fratricide in Ottoman Empire? Fratricide was not legal according to early Ottoman chronicles and records. When the Ottomans appeared as a new power in Anatolia, they consider it as a lesson from the early empires or states which had perished, that through fratricide, the death of some members of the dynasty, who could cause the fitna and fasad, was much more preferable than the risk of division and at last dissolution of the state. According to old Ottoman tradition, there were no set rules of regulated succession, so every son of the Sultan could succeed his father. After the death of the Sultan, whoever prince came first to the capital would become Sultan. Then it became common that when a new Sultan came to power, he has to kill his brothers, even some of whom were still infants. The practice of fratricide was legalized by Sultan Mehmed II the Conqueror. Because during the Ottoman interregnum, he had seen his grandfather, Mehmed I, struggled for the throne, with his brothers, Suleiman, Asa, and Musa. That civil war lasted for 8 years, and the casualties and the division in Ottoman society became the cause to weaken the empire. So, to reduce the possibility of future rebellion and civil wars, and to preserve the state, Mehmed II formally turned this practice of ritual killing into law, to eliminate the cause of fitna in advance, to assure the public benefit, or, as he dictated, for the order of the world. The famous Law of Governance, by Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror stated that, "Any of my sons that ascends the throne, it is acceptable for him to kill his brothers for the common benefit of the people." The majority of the ulama have approved this, let action be taken accordingly. This was not a new rule of succession, but formulated to avoid many civil wars between the brothers, and for the betterment of the thousands of people who could die in the wars for the right of succession. Ottoman princes were executed by strangulation with a silken cord. Because according to Turkish tradition, the shedding of the royal blood of the dynasty was prohibited. Thus, the Ottomans sacrificed themselves by adopting the principle of the indivisibility of authority in Islamic law, even at the cost of the execution of the members of the dynasty. After this, the luckiest and the most powerful prince, who succeeded the throne, started the execution of his other brothers who could claim the throne. When the son of Sultan Mehmed II, Bayezid II, died in 1512, his son Selim I immediately succeeded the throne. Although, his father had not considered him as the favorite candidate to accession. After his succession, he proceeded with the execution of his two brothers, Ahmed and Korkut. Over the next 150 years, as the result of Mehmed's law of fratricide, many members of the Ottoman dynasty had died. The cruelest example of fratricide in the history of the empire was committed by Sultan Mehmed III. Upon his succession, he ordered the execution of his 19 brothers and half-brothers, and buried them alongside their father. Perhaps, that brutal incident changed the heart of Mehmed III's son, the next successor, Ahmed I. After being crowned as Sultan, he refused to order the execution of his mentally handicapped brother, Mustafa I. For future, he decided to disallow the practice of fratricide in the Ottoman dynasty, and replace it with the ascension system of seniority. It was decided that any prince who would be a possible threat to the throne will be imprisoned in the cages at the Topkapi Palace. And in this way, the CAF system was born.